Hello everybody, how are you? A lot has happened since this video and the last one, especially in the world. There have been a jump in the number of coronavirus cases, and I just really hope that you guys are being safe. Um, I don't necessarily know each and every one of you personally, but it would be a real shame if any one of you had to get sick. So I really do hope that everyone who's watching this, everyone who isn't watching this, is being extra super duper safe, because it is affecting a lot of people and infecting a lot of people. Big difference. Yeah, it says cool because you're cool. And it's definitely tested us in terms of our dedication towards staying safe and our resilience in a situation like this. I mean, there's no handbook, there's no manual. People are going back to work, schools are starting to reopen, and it's a tough decision for parents and students alike. Should we go back to campus? Should we go back to school? And recently, exams started for me at varsity, and I don't know if schools have started with exams or tests, but an exam is just a really big important test. Um, so I mean, if they have, and if you are writing a test, or if you are in any kind of situation that requires you to increase your levels of cortisol and adrenaline in your body, then I guess you'd probably relate to this video. But um, I would also like to just drop a little reminder that it just everyone to be patient with each other, because um, it isn't the subject of this video, but I mean, if you have friends that are not being responsive on social media, or friends that aren't being very interactive through social media, and that is the most responsible way to interact with each other at this point in time, don't be too hard on them. If you are one of those friends that aren't very active on social media, and you are going through a lot, know that that your friends who are closest to you are rooting for you and are supporting you and are wishing the best for you. So yeah, with that being said, let's get into it. So, about 2 weeks ago. Oh, my hair. Oh, she's coming out to say hello. I'm gonna just fix that. I'm back. So, yeah. So, exams started about roughly 2 weeks ago, and it is a very daunting time. Personally speaking, exams have always been very stressful for me from the beginning of exams. So that's like grade 5, grade 4. God, that's a very long time ago. But anyways, not the point. Exams have always been a very stressful point in my life, and I would assume it is a stressful point in a lot of people's lives, rightfully so. I mean, you've worked really hard in the term or the semester and or the quarter, and you've been hitting the books, or you've been hitting your knowledge and increasing your knowledge, and a lot of people suffer from test anxiety. I am one of those people. I am not afraid to admit it. I am not ashamed. Test anxiety is a thing, and it can wreak havoc on your mental health. Let me just put it out there. I'm actively shaking the stand, so I'm really sorry about that. But it can wreak havoc on your mental health. And I think the important thing to realize is that an exam or a test doesn't define you as a human being. I think that's really important. It doesn't validate you as a human being. It doesn't give you, okay, it's going to give you it's going to lead up to a certificate that says you have so and so qualifications, but it doesn't necessarily quantify the intangible aspects of what it is to be a human being, you know? And I do think we place a lot of overall importance on education, formal education, and it gets to a point where we actually disregard our mental health and the well-being of ourselves, and I think that's a shame, and it's something that we have to work on. But I want to speak about situations such as a test or an exam that that test your resilience as a human being. Um, and we often are faced a lot in life with challenges or situations where it is very difficult for us to look past them and look past their outcomes and imagine something further than their outcomes, because we are conditioned to believe that that outcome is the be all end all. We need to stop placing importance on a particular outcome, and we need to say, okay, let's think about a backup plan, or let's think about what it will be if it is going to work in our favor. And I do believe that we are capable of that. I mean, the other day I was listening to a song and a lyric stuck in my head. Every day I dig a grave and then I sit inside it and I wonder if I'll behave. And that lyric is a very powerful lyric, because a lot of the time we as human beings are very susceptible to self-criticism and self-critiquing, and to a point self-sabotage, and we don't necessarily give ourselves the credit we deserve in a situation that tests our resilience. Whether that be an exam, whether you're in school, whether you're in a varsity, even at work. I know people at work have tests, like actual tests that they have to do to update their qualifications or validate their qualifications, etc., etc. So just a word of advice. Yeah, I think that's the right word. Right word for the word of advice. That we can be functioning on the inside now. We can be functioning at a lower level. We could be broken in 100,000 pieces on the inside from whatever trauma we've been through, whether it's heartbreak, whether it's anything. You know, we can be broken on the inside, whether it's not getting a good mark on your test or whatever the situation is. But we don't necessarily validate or give credit to the human spirit and say, like, well done on me or well done on you for like moving through that hectic stuff and still giving 157 billion% of yourself when you're in 157 billion pieces on the inside. So in this very, very, very trying time, I just want to leave you guys with the message of obviously be kind to yourself. I think, like, if you've watched all my videos before this, be kind to yourself, or I'm coming for you. And just be patient with yourselves and give yourself credit. Like, yeah, sure, maybe it's not what you wanted it to be. Maybe you didn't get what you want. Maybe you didn't come out of the situation the way you wanted to, but you came out of it. You learned from it. You're a different person. Kudos.